So here we are back in my kitchen with the most fantastic skin-saving soup recipe. My lovely assistant, Brella, has come to help me. So this is the creamy cauliflower and almond soup. It is full of skin-saving ingredients. You've got protein, vitamin E, you've got vitamin K, you've got vitamin C. It's just genius and it tastes amazing. So to make things a bit easier, we just did a bit of prep. Now, if you see in here, we've got a large onion that was beautifully chopped by Brella and just fried off with a little bit of butter, but you could use olive oil if you wanted. So that's all ready to go. And then similarly, you chopped this, didn't you, Han?
Yeah.
So we've got a whole medium-sized cauliflower broken into florets, which again, we've just fried off in a little bit of butter or olive oil. And you could simmer it with a little bit of vegetable stock if you wanted, just to get it crispy and cooked. Do you want to pop that back on the stove actually, because I think that needs a little bit more cooking. We just need to soften that a bit. And then this is a really good leftovers trick. So when you have your cauliflower, don't throw away these lovely outer leaves because they crisp up into the most amazing veg. Did you know this?
I did.
You did, of course you
Yes.
did. So basically what I've had Brella do is just trim these, and then we're going to rub them with olive oil. So you just sort of coat them and then sprinkle them with salt and pepper and put them in the oven, and they will just crisp up and be delicious.
Yum.
So we'll have those a bit later. So maybe with the cauliflower, let us just add a tiny bit of stock. And you can always pop the lid on that if you want to, just so that it steams away on the inside. Now, when you're using stock, ideally use a homemade chicken stock or maybe turkey stock if you're making this just after Christmas. You've got all the collagen and the amino acids that go into basically what's a bone broth. So you are getting lots of goodness in that as well as lots of flavour. But for those who don't have a chicken stock, you can use a chicken stock cube. I like this brand, Callo. This is a very low salt organic chicken. And if you don't want to use chicken or meat as your stock, then you could use a vegetable bouillon like this, which is a low salt vegetable powder that you just boil up. So we've got here about 2 pints of vegetable stock. So what we should do is put the cauliflower and the onion, we're going to mix these together. Okay, so let's get these mixed together. Do you want to pop the onion basically in there? And then you're going to add the stock and add the seasoning. And a really good seasoning for this recipe is ground nutmeg. It just kind of brings the whole soup dish to life, and it has a really good flavour. So we're going to put about half a teaspoon of that. I'll just come over here and sprinkle that over the top. And if you're a nutmeg fan, then you can add a little bit more maybe, if you like the nutmeg seasoning.
Love nutmeg.
Excellent. And then let's pop a little bit of salt and pepper on that. So I've got some nice Malden sea salt. Let's sprinkle that on. And then a little bit of ground black pepper. And then once that has just cooked through, just softened, put that all into a big saucepan, pour on your stock, and that's when you whiz it up. So I've got one here that I made earlier. So yeah, you can just leave that one simmering away. We'll make that as another lot. So I've got in here the cauliflower, the onions, the nutmeg and the stock. And I'm going to whiz this up. We are not going to use the Magimix.
No. Exploding Magimix.
Last time we had a bit of an exploding mixer incident, but anyway, sorry about the noise. Actually, this hand blender works just as well.
Yeah, it's really good.
And it's easy to clean too. Oh, that looks good. You can see inside, you can see. So this is where it's all started to get really creamy. Then the last thing is you just need to adjust the seasoning and finish it with a little bit of cream. I've got some lovely single cream here. You don't want to boil that, so you just want to heat it through. Do you want to grab me a spoon, hun, from that drawer?
Yes.
We'll just check the seasoning first to see if you need to adjust salt and pepper. I think that's really good. Actually, I do think that's really good. Nice little splash of cream in there. And we need maybe a wooden spoon. Let's just do that. Heat this up just one more time on here. Yeah, that will do. Just to warm the cream through. So you don't really want to boil the cream, you just want to warm it through. That looks great. And then I'll get the dish ready. And you can add a little swirl of cream if you wanted to decorate, or a bit of plain live yogurt, a bit of kefir, obviously. But what works really well is a drizzle of truffle oil, if you want to really make this quite decadent. So let us get that off. If you want to take that off, and then I've got a ladle here, we can pop some in the bowl. So we'll show you the finished dish. So we'll pop that couple of ladlefuls in here. And this flavour is just so delicious. And when you serve it to people who don't know what it is, they often say, "That's amazing soup, what is it?" Because you weren't sure, were you, when I first made it?
Yeah.
You thought, what's Mum doing? But what would you say?
It's very nice. It's. I'm a big fan of nutmeg, so I very much like the nutmeg in it. And because cauliflower's not an offensive taste, it's suitable for everybody.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say.
Well, there you go. Suitable for everybody, says the expert. I got on here a little bit of chopped parsley that I'll just finish off here. And this is partly for flavour, but also because it just looks nice. You know, the green on the white. And then if you have got some truffle oil, this is just an optional extra, or you could use something like pumpkin seed oil if you wanted. Just literally zigzag that over the top. And there you have it. That is so good. You're going to be the first to have a bowlful.
Yes. Thank you. That truffle oil smells amazing.
It does smell good, doesn't it?
Thank you.
Hope you enjoy. You'll find the recipe below.
Mmm. Oh, that is nice.
I haven't paid you to say that, have I?
No.